Good afternoon. Welcome back to Tropical Chatter, your go-to source for online information regarding the 2017 hurricane season. Let's jump right into it as it's almost 1 p.m. Eastern Time, September 24th. We have Hurricane Maria. It's a Category 2 storm. It's moving, according to the National Hurricane Center, due north, but that is not the case. It is moving more of a north-northwest direction right now. It's going to get awfully close to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. The question remains how close. You know, it could be 25 miles, it could be 125 miles. We just don't know yet. A couple minor details in the overall grand scheme of things will determine how close it gets to the coast. So this is your visible satellite image up to date right now. As you can see, it's a well-developed hurricane. Pressure is down around 947 millibars, and it's remaining pretty steady around that number. We're going to switch over to the infrared satellite, give you a bit of a different look. As you can see, the eye is in there. It survived some shear. It had some westerly and southwesterly shear a couple days ago. It survived that pretty well, and it redeveloped a decent-looking core. I'm going to switch over to the shear map, and you can see it's in a good pocket. It's in a good environment right now. Decreasing shear on its southwest side, and it's still not into the the heavier shear to its north. The shear is moving in tandem with the system a bit. I'm going to back this up a couple hours so you can see that. And if I put this into motion, you can see how the shear advances north and west as the hurricane advances north and west. So I'll go to the National Hurricane Center track here. This is their current forecast. As of 11 a.m., they had 105 mile per hour max sustained winds. Well, again, with a movement of 9 miles per hour to the north. If we look at the Hurricane Hunter data, it is clear as day that it is not moving due north anymore. It is moving north-northwest. It's clear as day. The last 3 passes have been a north-northwest jog. And another pass is coming in, and it should be right around 73 west now. It's clear as day a north-northwest track, and I imagine they're going to update that at their next advisory. The farther west it gets, if it gets to 73.5, 74, 74.5, as it gets farther north, it becomes interesting. We're going to see how long it stays on a north-northwest track before it goes due north. I want to keep this video short, so I'm going to progress right along to the GFS, or start with the European here. This is 24 hours out. Put this into motion. These are 850 millibar winds. You don't have to worry about these winds. They don't get down to the surface. For 48 hours out, it's approaching the southeast coast. And 72 hours and 96 hours out, it makes its closest pass to the coast. With this run here, it's pretty well offshore, but it will bring, moderate to, not high-end tropical storm force gusts. We're talking about 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts, maybe some higher numbers along the immediate Outer Banks in this area here. As the wind comes off the ocean and just stays like that for many, many hours and possibly day. There will be some sound side flooding, beach erosion, storm surge to go along with the tropical storm force winds and heavy rains. If the center of the storm gets another 25, 50 miles closer, sure, you could get gusts to hurricane force, and the surge will become higher, greater, along with all the other effects, the wind, everything else. So let's move along to the GFS, and this is the 12Z run, the most recent run. So I'll put this into motion here. We are 24 hours out, again approaching the southeast coast. For the past couple days, the GFS has had this western jog as it got off the Outer Banks, and this run does not really show that. It does just jog a tad, west at between hours 66 and 72. That is late Tuesday, early Wednesday morning. And here's its closest pass right here. Again, off the coast. These are surface winds. You can see it's bringing winds, between 35 and 50 knots to the coast. That's 45 to 60 mile an hour winds. Most likely it'll be gusts. Up to the Jersey Shore, you can see gusts around 30. Down in Virginia, you're talking about a little bit higher, gusts to 40, 45 maybe. But the onshore winds will pile up the water. There will be storm surge along the Outer Banks, sound flooding. It's not going to be a major storm for you guys, but it is a bit of a slow mover as it approaches the coast. So the water could pile up in the bays and cause some issues. I don't expect major problems currently. But again, if the storm shifts another 50 or 75 miles west, we're talking about a hurricane just offshore, barely offshore. Can we rule out a landfall? I don't believe we can rule that out yet, as we're just talking a few miles here or there, especially with the current north-northwest movement. We're just going to see how close it actually gets to the coast. It will get kicked northeast quickly out to sea. Once the kicker or the trough moves in, it's going to kick Hurricane Maria quickly out to sea. So once that becomes influenced, once the hurricane becomes influenced by that, it'll be out, and it'll be out quick. So that's where we're at. We're going to go back to the Hurricane Hunters data real quick to see if that new pass came through. Let me clear all this nonsense. And let's see if the new pass has came through. It is happening right now, and they're not into the center yet, but it's going to be around 73 west. So that's pretty much it. I don't believe I'm going to chase this storm. It's not worth it for 50, 60, mile-an-hour winds. If it was a landfall, which it does not appear likely, it would be a different story. I would race down there. I could be in and out of there in 36 hours, get the data, get the footage that I would like to get. But for a brush, an Outer Banks brush with only tropical storm force winds affecting the coast, it's just not worth it. So that's the update for today. More than likely, there's going to be a later update after the football games. And for now, have a great day, guys, and I'll talk to you later.